Let's face it, folks, analog FPV camera images all kind of stink. And that's why the search for the best image you can possibly get from an analog FPV camera is intensely personal. And that's why I was so excited when I found the Micro Eagle. I thought that the image from the Micro Eagle was the best that I'd ever seen. Not everyone agreed. Some people thought it was awful, and that's what I'm talking about. Intensely personal. But this video is not about the Micro Eagle, because the Micro Eagle was discontinued. It was discontinued. There may be still some out there. If you have any sitting around and you love them, they're going away. And that's why I was so excited when I found the Runcam Phoneix V2, and I made a JB branded signature Runcam Phoneix, and that is now my current favorite FPV camera. And I'm not here to tell you about that camera either, although we are going to look at some image quality from it, because I've got a review of that camera talking about what's so awesome about it. I'll put it in the end cards at the end of the video, and you can check it out if you want to do a deep dive into the Phoneix V2. What we are here to talk about today is this. This is the Runcam Micro Eagle V3. And when I saw the Micro Eagle V3 came out, I thought, wait, I thought we were discontinuing the Eagle. I thought the Eagle was going away. If the Eagle V3 was coming out, why didn't we just make a JB Micro Eagle V3? And that is the question that we're diving into in this video. Because the Micro Eagle V3 is not actually, well, I'm Joshua Bardwell. You're going to learn something today. There are two big questions that we're going to try to answer in this video. And the first question is, if you loved the Micro Eagle V2, as I did, and then you lost it when it was discontinued, should you be thinking about the Micro Eagle V3 as its replacement? Because the Micro Eagle V3 does not use the same image sensor as the Micro Eagle V2. So we can't assume that it will have the same image qualities that made it so desirable, or in some cases, loathed. If you hated the Micro Eagle, I guess that's another question we got to answer. If you hated the Micro Eagle V2, maybe you should be looking at the Micro Eagle V3, because maybe it's just a completely different camera. The other question we're going to dive into is, which is better? The JB Phoneix with my custom tuned settings, or the Micro Eagle V3? Because I'm going to be straight with you. I didn't know that the Micro Eagle V3 was planned for release at the time that I settled. I mean, I do like the Phoneix. I like the Phoneix a lot, but I like is the Phoneix better than the Eagle? These are all the questions that we're going to tackle today. We're going to compare the Micro Eagle V2, which is now discontinued, the JB Runcam Phoneix V2, and the Micro Eagle V3. And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you throughout this video some of the things that I'm noticing and some of the things that I think you might want to notice. But at the end of the day, camera image quality is intensely personal. So you're going to look at these images and you're going to decide for yourself which one you think is best. And the very first thing we're going to do is just look at some flight footage so you can see what the camera would look like as it looks in your goggles. I do want to acknowledge, for those who live in like the UK and other parts of the world where it is often cloudy, this is a sunny day and I don't have any cloudy day footage. It's the middle of the summer. It's just not cloudy that often. Sorry. I know you're annoyed at me for that. But we can judge things like the dynamic range. How much detail is there in the shadows compared to the contrast? A high contrast image looks pleasant, but doesn't let you see the kind of details you need when you're flying. Does the image look sharp? Does it look over sharpened? Are there artifacts caused by over sharpening? Like if you look at the fence, you can see sometimes you'll get some, I think it's moire distortion. You get some distortion in the fence lines and so forth. We're going to look at this stuff in a more controlled environment in just a second as soon as this flight is over. But I just wanted to let you start by just seeing it, in real time as you're flying. Now I'm going to show you all three of the cameras at once, and I'm not going to tell you which is which until the very end. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is that although you're not seeing these full screen, I've uploaded this at 2.7K resolution. They actually are slightly enlarged from their full resolution. So you are seeing all the detail here if you're watching it back in 2.7K resolution. In this section, I want you to look at the shadows and see which one has more detail in the shadows versus which one has a contrastier, nicer to look at image. You can also look at the horizontal slats on the side of my house and see if there's any kind of distortion there versus representing that image accurately. Here, you got another shadow versus bright sky area to compare. And we're going to walk up close to this fence with the vertical lines of the fence and see how the cameras resolve the detail of the vertical lines of the fence. Which one looks sharper, which one looks softer. You can go back and play it back and see which one resolves the pickets first versus which one looks a little bit softer. And if you've got a camera that looks sharper, which one looks sort of more, maybe it's over sharpened. It's got detail, but it has an over sharpened sort of digitally altered look. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to point the camera up in the sky and see how they handle the sun coming into the image. And then we'll point it down at the ground and see how it handles that rapid change in exposure. And we're going to do that a couple of times. In this one, we're going to stand out in the sunny area and aim the camera up underneath the porch. So we're going from a bright area into a dark area. Look at the back wall of the porch and see which camera is resolving the most detail, and compare the exposure in the dark area to the exposure in the bright area and see if anything is going wrong there. Oh, on to the next one. Now we're going to go behind the barn. This is one of the darker parts of my property, but not completely dark. We'll get there in a second. And this is going to show how the camera handles kind of dappled sunshine with bright and dark areas in the same shot. Now we're going to go into the barn and see how the camera handles just darkness. See about the low light sensitivity of the cameras. In this lower part of the barn, it's not too dark yet, but we're going to actually go upstairs, and there's basically no windows or anything upstairs, and see how it handles that. This test really shows the low light sensitivity of the cameras. Two of these cameras have a whole lot of image noise because they've cranked the gain on the sensor to get this low light. One of the cameras has almost no image noise at all. Also notice that two of the cameras, the sunlight coming in from the stairs is blowing out the highlights, and one of them is not. So I guess it's time to do the reveal. The camera with the best light sensitivity and dynamic range is the Micro Eagle V2. And that is due to the very, very special sensor that it's got. And that is why it has been discontinued, because that sensor is not available anymore. The other two cameras are the Micro Eagle and the JB Phoneix, of course. And now you should know, hopefully, what you need to know to help you decide between these cameras. There are links to all three of these cameras down in the video description, and they are affiliate links. If you would like to pick one of them up, click one of those affiliate links and make any purchase. You don't have to buy one of these cameras. You can support me by making any purchase after you click one of my affiliate links. I get a small commission no matter what you buy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Which one do you think was the best? Which one do you think was the best? The good old Micro Eagle V2? The new Phoneix, or maybe the new Micro Eagle V3. Well, it's an intensely personal decision that only you can make for yourself. Which one was okay, I'll tell you my opinion. For me, the Micro Eagle V2 had the best low light sensitivity and the best dynamic range. But I noticed that the image was much softer than the others. In fact, I had to refocus the lens on the Micro Eagle V2 like 3 times just because it looked so soft. I kept thinking it was out of focus. And the reason for that is that the Micro Eagle V2 looks terrible when the sharpening is turned up, and it just has so much shimmer that the sharpening gets turned way down, but it results in a softer image. I felt like the Phoneix had probably the best mix of good light handling, good dynamic range, and good image detail without too much shimmer. But the Eagle V3 had a really nice looking image with a little more contrast and a little more saturation that was actually really pleasant to look at and pleasant to fly with. Even if maybe I think I still feel like the Phoneix is the one for me, even over maybe the Micro Eagle V2. Happy flying, you guys. What are you doing in here? The least you could do is subscribe or join my Patreon, or like just here's another video I picked out for you. Jeez.